Welcome to the training session on EM6400NG series power meters. Objective of this training session is to enable the users to do basic level of programming and setup of the meter parameters. Please refer to the installation guide and user manual carefully to understand the safety aspects of meter installation and commissioning. It is important that you are competent to do wiring and programming of the meter. Basic knowledge of electrical network and safety measures are desired. There are 5 model references in EM6400NG series. You can choose between meters with accuracy class 1, accuracy class 0.5S and accuracy class 0.2 as per IEC standards. Also, the portfolio consists of meters with POP and RS485 communication. View of the meter showing the terminals for connection. V1, V2, V3 and Vn indicate the voltage terminals. For category 3 systems, voltages of up to 480 volts line to line can be directly connected to these terminals. Voltages above 480 volts line to line should be connected through external voltage transformers. For category 2 installations, voltages up to 600 volts line to line can be connected directly to the voltage terminals. A1, A2, A3 indicate the current terminals. For current terminals, S1 indicates in and S2 indicates out. Currents up to 6 amps can be directly connected to these terminals. Currents above 5 amps should be connected through external CTs rated for either 1 amp or 5 amp secondary. L plus and N minus indicate the auxiliary or control power terminals. AC or DC voltage in the range 40 volts to 300 volts can be used to power up the meter. The remaining 2 terminals D1 and D0 indicate either RS485 or POP terminals depending on the type of the meter. This is the front view of the meter. The HMI of the meter consists of 3 rows of 7 segment LEDs for display of measured values. Each row can display 4 digits along with a decimal point and a minus sign. There are 3 keys at the bottom of the display. These keys support press, press and hold and combination press modes in order to provide an intuitive and easy navigation through the HMI screens. The green LED at the bottom of the display is used to indicate the health of the meter. The LED glows with 1 second on, 1 second off to indicate normal working. In communication references, this LED blinks at the rate of data transfer when the meter is communicating. The orange LED located above the green LED can be mapped to send out pulses at a rate proportional to the energy accumulated by the meter. Apart from these, the HMI consists of 2 columns of LEDs on either side of the 7 segment LEDs. These LEDs indicate the labels of the values being displayed on the current screen. The display pages are divided into different sections. Press the rightmost key to navigate between these sections. This is the RMS section. Now the meter is showing voltage line to neutral of individual phases. Press the down key to view voltage line to line of individual phases. Similarly, current of individual phases, per phase kVA, per phase kW, per phase kVAR, per phase PF, VTHD and ITHD values can be viewed. If we press OK, the meter navigates to energy block and you can navigate through different energy parameters by pressing up and down arrow keys. Pressing the OK key again navigates the meter to demand section. There are 4 pages inside the demand section to display demand related measurements such as last interval demand, present demand, prediction demand and maximum demand. Next section is RTC block to display the calendar date and time. This feature is available only in the meter with RS485 communication feature. The next section shows the 3-phase average or total parameter values. There are 3 subsections. First section is voltage average, current average and PF average based on the wiring type selected. Second subgroup is total power, WVA and VAR, and the last group is frequency, neutral current and unbalanced current. Let us now set up the basic configurations of the meter. To enter the setup page, press and hold up and down keys together for 2 seconds. The meter then asks for the setup password. When the meter is dispatched from the factory, this password is set to 0000. You have the option to set this password to any 4-digit number. It is strongly recommended that you remember the password or store it in a secure place for future retrieval. To increment or decrement the digit that is blinking, press the up or down key respectively. To move to the next digit, press and hold the up or down key. Pressing and holding the up key moves the editable digit to the right. Similarly, pressing and holding the down key moves the editable digit to the left. Once the password is entered, press OK to apply the password and enter setup. First item in setup is wiring type. Indicates the type of the system in which the meter is connected. To change the wiring type, press OK and then scroll through the available wiring types using up and down keys. The meter can be configured to 3-phase 4-wire, 3-phase 3-wire, 2-phase or single-phase wiring types. Use single-phase 3-line mode for 2-phase wiring type. The meter supports additional 8 wiring types which can be configured through communication. Press OK to apply the selected wiring type. Press the down key to move to the next item. Next item on setup is voltage transformer connection. This page is used to configure how the voltage inputs of the meter are connected to the system. To change the voltage transformer configuration, press OK and then scroll through the available VT options. If the meter is directly connected to the voltage lines of the system, choose No VT. If voltage transformers are used for connecting the voltage lines to the meter, choose appropriate number of VTs by scrolling through the options. Voltages of up to 480 volts line to line in category 3 installations and up to 600 volts line to line in category 2 installations can be directly connected to the meter. Voltages above these values, for example in MV and HV systems, should be connected to the meter through voltage transformers. For example, let us select 3VT configuration. Next item on setup is VT primary. If the VT configuration selected is direct connection, this setting is not applicable. If the VT configuration is either 2VT or 3VT, use this setting to set the VT primary. As described before, pressing up or down keys will increment or decrement the editable digit. Pressing and holding the up or down keys will move the editable digit to the right or left. For example, let us set VT primary as 11 kV. Next item on setup is VT secondary. Again, if the VT configuration selected is direct connection, this setting is not applicable. If the VT configuration is either 2VT or 3VT, use this setting to set the VT secondary. Available options for VT secondary are 100, 110, 115 and 120. Let us set VT secondary as 110 volts. Press OK to apply the set VT secondary value. Next item on setup is the CT location. This setting is used to indicate the locations of external CTs in the bus bar. A1 indicates that the external CT is connected on first phase only. Similarly, A2 or A3 indicates that the external CT is connected only on second phase or third phase respectively. A12 indicates that external CTs are connected on first and second phase. A123 indicates that external CTs are connected on all three phases. Let us set the CT location to A123. Next item on setup is to set the CT ratio of panel CT. Use this page to set the CT primary value. CT primary value can be between 1 and 32760. Default CT primary is 100 amps. Let us change this to 200 amps. Next parameter is CT secondary setting. Use this page to set the CT secondary value. Secondary value can be set to 5 or 1 to indicate 5 amps or 1 amp secondary rating of the CT. Let us set the CT ratio to 200/5. Next item is system frequency. System frequency can be set to 50 Hz or 60 Hz based on the system in which the meter is being used. Next item is demand. The meter supports monitoring of power demand and current demand. Power demand setting is used to select the demand calculation method. You can select among time block, timed rolling block, command sync block, command sync rolling block, clock sync block, clock sync rolling block, and thermal demand calculation methods. Let us select timed rolling block method for power demand calculation. Next item is power demand cycle or power demand interval setting. This setting is used to set the demand interval. Demand interval is set in minutes and can be duration between 1 and 60 minutes in steps of 1 minute. Next set of settings are for ampere demand or current demand. The current demand settings follow the same flow as power demand settings. Next set of settings are for configuring the red LED on the front panel. The meter allows you to map the red LED to any of the energy values. To do this, change the LED mode from off to energy. Next item is to set the pulse weight for energy LED. Pulse weight indicates the number of pulses the meter will emit per unit of energy selected. The pulse weight can be set to any value from 1 to 4 nines and 3 zeros. For example, let us set the pulse weight to 10,000. Next item is the LED parameter. This setting is used to map the red LED to the required energy parameter. Red LED can be mapped to delivered active energy, received active energy, total active energy, delivered reactive energy, received reactive energy, total reactive energy, delivered apparent energy, received apparent energy, or total apparent energy. Let us map the red LED to total active energy. Next item is password. This setting can be used to set up the password. The factory default password is 0000. This can be changed to any 4-digit number. It is strongly recommended that you remember the password or store it in secure place for future retrieval. Next set of settings are related to communication. These settings are available only on meters that support RS-485 communication. The meter allows the users to turn on or off the communication. Changing this setting to off will block the communication channel of this meter. This option can be used during network maintenance and to provide cyber security. Let us turn on communication. Setting other communication parameters is allowed only if communication is turned on. Next item is slave ID. This setting can be used to set the slave ID of the meter. Slave ID can be set to any number between 1 and 247. Next item is baud rate. This setting can be used to set the baud rate of the meter to any one of the available 4 rates in order to match the communication speed of the network. Meter supports baud rates of 4800, 9600, 19200 and 38400. Next item is parity. This setting can be used to set the parity to match the network settings. It is possible to set the parity to even, odd or none. Next set of settings are related to the real-time clock. The meter clock is set to Indian Standard Time before it is dispatched from the factory. However, the meter also provides an option to set the date and time for different regional timings. This is year. This is date in MMDD format, and this is time in hour and minute format. Apart from this, the POP versions will have a set of settings related to pulse output configuration. These settings are similar to LED settings as described earlier. Once you are done with these settings, press the up and down keys simultaneously to exit setup. The meter will prompt to save changes. Select yes to confirm changes. Let us now see how to reset the accumulated values through front panel keys. To reset the accumulated values, press and hold the OK key for 2 seconds. The meter asks for a confirmation to enter into clear menu. Select yes and press OK. Then enter the password and press OK. You can now choose the parameter that you want to reset. You can select to reset the energy, demand, high-low or min-max, and maximum demand. The meter displays done as a confirmation that the parameter selected was reset. Press and hold OK key for more than 2 seconds to exit clear menu. One of the features of this meter is display page lock. For commonly viewed parameters, we can lock the page and the meter returns back to the locked page within 4 minutes after the pages are shuffled by the user. Also, once the page is locked, it is not possible to enter into setup and clear menu items. Press the up and OK key simultaneously for 2 seconds to lock or unlock the page. This brings us to the end of this training module on EM6400NG installation and setup. For more details, please refer to installation guide or user guide or log on to www.schneiderelectric.com.